I was one of the first ones to go up to Nationality TV. I'm the one that debated Sar Seti and Nationality at the same time and crushed both of them. The hell with Quebec. The hell with Quebec. Don't act like, they're not our friends. Y'all sitting around, and I'm not saying y'all, I'm saying, people that sit around and act like, they are friends. They're not our friends. All right? Before I put the presentation up, I want to explain the flag. All right? I'm a Hebrew Israelite sovereign nationalist. I'm the one that spearheaded the mighty Hebrews. All right? And what we're doing is we bring forth Hebrew Israelite sovereign nationalism that actually crosses the threshold of congregationalism, and we're getting into sovereign nationalism. I then consolidated 384 Hebrew Israelite camps all over the world, from the United States all the way to Tibet. We talk about Israelites all over the world: China, Japan, okay, Africa, Asia, Europe, Australia, all over the world. If y'all look online, from March 26th to the 29th, we're going to have what is called the International flag raising. That's going to be in Jamestown, Virginia. I'm under Ambassador Abraham, Israel. When you look at, yes.
Where can I get a flag from?
You can get it directly from me, brother. You can get it directly from me. Now, if you look at the flag, all right, and this right here, because when you look at the so-called Jewish faggot, because that's what he is, all right, you'll see him with the shield of Dawah, all right, and you'll see white and blue. But then when you go to the United States, they have red, white, and blue. But with our colors, it's red, white, blue, and purple. The mineral is gold. You see the fringes in blue. You can even have dark blue, purple, or sky blue. If you look, you see the 12 jewels. The reason why I did it like that, or the United Nation of Israel, because we try to cross thresholds. You might have some that come out of the One West camp that may not prescribe to Dan, and then you may have those that prescribe to Dan, but there's no argument with the 12 Jews. Both sides agree. Then there's a controversy with the Shield of David. I rock the Shield of David, the Magadah with the yarn. You know what I mean? It deals with the man from the head to the torso. But since we're not dealing with that right now, we got the menorah. Then we see the name of the creator in ancient Paleo Hebrew, Yahweh, Yahovah, Yahweh, well, however you want to pronounce it, because some people say that the modern Hebrew, there's a problem. So we got the Paleo Hebrew right there. So we clearly all agree on that. So that's Bill. This is the flag that we're going to be raising all over the world at the same time. The difference from us and the so-called Jews, when you read the Balfour Declaration, originally, before they put that Balfour Declaration, you had a man by the name of Theodore Herzl, and he wanted to create what was called Zionism. Originally, he wanted to go to Uganda. That's where he wanted to go. Y'all know why he wanted to go to Uganda? Anybody know why? Let me tell you why. If you read the book From Babylon to Timbuktu by Professor Rudolph R. Windsor, the Ugandan people believe that 33 kings came through the line of King David. So they believed that because of Uganda having that, they was going to use Uganda at first, but then they wound up going to Yisrael. But we clearly see that when you go to Exodus chapter 34 to 39, we know that our colors is red, white, blue, purple, and gold. You see that? Let's get to the PowerPoint presentation. Let's build. We're going to build on real sovereignty because we already see that General Hashar. We done seen Kasut, the Danite historian, as well as we seen our brother Kohen Dana Allah. They done decapitated the sole Jewish people. They done decapitated them. We know that they're not the people of the book. But we want to deal with the prognostications to show and prove on a sovereign level who Yisrael is. I'm not talking about UCC, Uniform Commercial Code, where you can get your non-negotiable bill of exchange, your chargeback form, you put your EIN number, which is your exemption identification number without the dashes, which is your social security number. You put your UCC in, which is your financial statement. Man, all that shit is garbage. Now, when the Europeans brought that out because they dealing in 1931 when the gold was took from them, and then from there, they wind up declaring sovereignty. But I'm talking about Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 37, which clearly states, I will make you an object of horror, a proverb and a byword amongst the nations. I'm going to show that the juristic being is really the children of Israel. So I already explained the flag. You got the United Nations of Israel. Welcome to the movement of nationality and sovereignty of Yahweh's chosen people. Come on, read it for me. There you go, right there. That's right. Now I'm going to show y'all how nationality and sovereignty plays a role in our redemption. Because remember, when you read in the 36th verse of Deuteronomy chapter 28, it says, I will send you and your king into a strange land, which neither you nor your fathers have known, and there you will worship idols, even wood and stone. Now, we always looked at that verse to look at it as being some type of gods of wood and stone. Islam, Judaism, Christianity, all the different gods. But we're going to go a little bit deeper and show how this is really defining the social system that we in. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than just worshiping the God of wood and stone and calling out the name of a false deity. This is talking about the social system that we have encapsulated ourselves in because of the disobedience. We know that the white man is the fucking devil because that's what he is. But let's go back to the inner self. Remember, we were given the laws, statutes, and commandments of heaven and earth through Yahweh. All right, you read Genesis chapter 12, verse 2-3.
Genesis chapter 12, chapter 12, verse 2. I will make you a great nation.
Genesis 12, verse 2. I will make you a great nation, and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse him who curse you.
Now we know in ancient times, okay, we know that we was in, after the Kemetic dynasty that we was in, and I'm giving y'all the proper dates. We left the Exodus during the 12th dynasty, the end of the 12th dynasty, 1446 BCE. That's the proper date that we left from out of Kemet, or Egypt, or Montezarian. We was a great nation. All the nations feared us as Yisrael. Even to this day, we are a great nation. All the nations of the earth emulate us. Even in our native state, okay, in our degradation, they emulate us. They wear the saggy pants. They want to rap like us. They want to talk like us. They want to look like us, okay? Even in our worst condition, this prophecy is fulfilled right here. Go to the next slide. The families of the earth, okay, I'm going to show you, you know, and this is not to step on toes as being a Torah son of Israelite, but I'm going to show you, just as Yahweh died for Yisrael, Yisrael as a nation died for the world. You want to see that where we was decapitated, where we was molested, where we was castrated, where we was burnt alive. Let's deal with the psychology of what they did to us as a nation of people. You know, we sit up here and we lollygag each and every day, but we really don't understand how diabolical this beast is. Rosenberg ain't got shit on what they did to us. We talk about 2,500 years of torture. You understand what I'm saying? It's time to pay the piper. Genesis 15:13.
Genesis chapter 15, verse 13. And it says, Then he said to Abraham, Know for certainty that your descendants will be strangers in the land that is not theirs, and will serve them, and they will afflict them 400 years. And also the nations whom they serve I will judge. Afterwards they shall come out with great possessions.
Okay, they're going to come out with great substance. Now check it out. I highlighted in red seed in 400 years because anytime you're dealing with sovereignty and documentation, everything is signed with the blood. You understand what I'm saying? The covenant is signed with the blood. But let's deal with the seed for a minute. All y'all Afrocentric scholars that keep talking about the mitochondrial DNA, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. What y'all talking about is evolution. When y'all talk about the Lucy bones and going back 3.5 million years ago, you talking about a primate. But let's deal with the real science of this. Now, I'm looking at seed. Seed in Hebrew is zakar, okay? Go into Ivrit. We got Mori Yeshaya right here, a Hebrew linguist, and he will tell you when you go there, it's zakar. But Zakar don't only mean seed, it also means male, and it also means to remember. So let's break this down. Let's deal with the X and Y chromosome. Okay. Now, when you look at a male child, he has an X and a Y chromosome. The Y chromosome comes from his father. Okay, watch this. The X comes from his mother's father because the father is determining what the child is. Let's say if it's a girl, it's 2 X chromosomes. One X chromosome comes from her father, naturally. The other X comes from the mother's father. So everything is going back to the father. We talking about the seed shall be a stranger in the land, not theirs. And they're going to be afflicted for 400 years. So some people say, well, that was during the time when he was in Kemet, all this, that, the third. Well, when you go to Shema, Exodus chapter 12, verse 40 to 41, it says that we sojourned in Egypt for 430 years. Now we talk about 400 years. Now we know that we've been in the diaspora since, some say 1555, we started in Caribbean islands. But we talking about Judah, because the tents of Judah would come out first. Don't it say that in Zechariah chapter 12, verse 7? So now, we know in 1619, they say in Jamestown, Virginia, where we're going to raise up the international inaugural flag, they say that we came in 1619. So 2019 will be 400 years. Why is it that Judah, out of all the tribes, you understand what I'm saying, that they're trying to suppress? It said for 400 years, okay, that we would be oppressed. And then it says, and also that nation whom they shall serve, I will judge. And afterwards shall they come out with great substance. So what I'm saying, family, for too long, no, serious, I want everybody to hear. Are y'all with me, family? Are y'all with me? For too long, we've been lollygagging, thinking that if we Israel, we gotta be in fucking poverty. We don't have to be in poverty. You can be rich and follow the laws of the creator of heaven and earth. Y'all are kings and queens. It's no way as Yisrael we supposed to know who we are as Israelites and live in poverty. It's time to rise. Go to the next verse. I'm going to show y'all. Come on. Here we go. Here we go right here. Now, they know who we are. Hit it. Hit it again. Yeah, hit it again. Then you're going to have to hit it again. Here we go. Now, hit it again. Yeah, because they be like, yo, Israelites, they don't have no PowerPoints. They don't know what they talking about. Now, this right here is a place called Israel Hill in Virginia. I'm going to read right here so y'all can see. It says, free blacks in Israel Hill. Y'all can go to Virginia. Y'all all in this building need to hear this because it's important. It says, just to the west lies Israel Hill, settled in 1810. 1811 by approximately 90 former enslaved persons who received freedom and 300 acres from Judith Randolph under the will of her husband, Richard Randolph, cousin of Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson was the president of the United States of America, KKK. It says these Israelites and other free African Americans worked as farmers. So the president of the United States and those that had us captive recognized that we were the Israelites. Next slide. Come on, next slide. We're about to go in. Now, we talk about the United Nations of Israel. A government in exile is a political group which claims to be a nation's legitimate government, but is unable to exercise legal power and instead resides in a foreign country. When you look at them fucking Moabites, yeah, I gotta give it to y'all wrong. Them so-called Chinese, you know why you got a Chinese or a Chinatown in Japan, in New York, in Philadelphia, DC, Chicago, because they are government in exile. In all actuality, we really are at the threshold where we need to be because we really stateless. And I'm gonna show you, because you hear people quoting the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment. We're going to get into that because of Article 1, Section 2, subparagraph 3 in the U.S. Constitution, you know that's 3/5 of a man. But they don't tell you why you 3/5 of a man. They don't tell you why, because you lack 2/5 opponents. You lack a nationality, which is the Torah. That's your true, Constitution, which is the Torah, and your nationality, Yisrael, okay? When you actually look at the Torah, they want you to believe that these are that these are religious rules. But in fact, these are constitutional rules that govern the nation. This is why they told you the law was no more. They said Christ done away with that. But when you really study the teachings of Yahweh Shai or Yeshua and Yahshua, however you want to describe it, he said, I did not come to destroy the law, but in the Greek Parakletos, he said, I came to establish it. That's what he said when you look at the text. And if you really want to get technical, the New Testament wasn't written in Greek, it was written in Hebrew. Go to the next slide. Come on. All right. United Nation of Yisrael. A government in exile is a political group which claims to be a nation's legitimate government, but is unable to exercise legal power and instead resides in a foreign country. Governments in exile usually plan to one day return to a native country and will regain former power. This is in the Wikipedia encyclopedia. We are talking about going back to the land, correct? We are already in the land. We in Demona, Mitzvah Ramon, Tobias. We in the land already. We left in 1967 under the vision of Adonenu, Rabbeinu, Ben Abi, Ben Yisrael, Prince Emmanuel, all those that came before us coming from out of Chicago and Detroit. I've been to the land. I've been there 5 times. I've been over to the land. We live like kings and queens. Now, it's totally different, you know, when you actually go outside Demona. There's certain things, the racism does exist. I'm not going to sit here and lie to y'all. They over there calling us cushy and all kinds of stuff. But when this second wave come in, when we read Isaiah chapter 11 and 12, we going to crush them devils and we going to clean that shit up out there. Read on, come on. The greatest transfer of wealth in human history, reparations. I mean, like, man, I'm coming, y'all came at me, I'm coming at y'all. You know, the nerve of us to ask for reparations. Do we know what it means to lose your language? 70% of the brain and the cerebral cortex of the brain is defined upon language. The Mona Lisa, which is a homosexual that they painted, by the way. It's priceless. You can't even buy it. Go to the Louvre Museum in France. You can take $10 and try to buy that Mona Lisa. It's priceless. But the nerve of us to ask for money for reparations. You lost your culture. You lost your heritage. You lost everything. The sacred sciences of being able to be one with the creator of heaven and earth. And the nerve to ask for reparations. That's why I love David Chappelle. He wouldn't dress like a fucking woman. Oprah Winfrey said, you crazy. You wouldn't dress like her. You wouldn't put it on the skirt. Remember he made that joint when he came down with the tractor trailer with the cools. Remember that? They said, well, what you do with your money, man? He said, shit, I bought a lifetime supply of cool cigarettes. Basically because so-called Negroes are so ignorant and don't know what they're doing, they're going to just put it back into the community. Reparations for slavery is the idea that some form of compensationary payment should be made to the descendants of so-called Africans who have been enslaved by the Atlantic slave trade. Wikipedia. Well, we at the United Nation of Israel, we say no to reparations. No country or group of countries have the capacity and capabilities and capacity to repay the debt owed. Come on, man. What kind of debt? This curse was put on us by the Creator. Now, y'all got to hear this. This curse was put on us by the Creator of heaven and earth. So we think reparation can pay for that? Go to the next slide. I'm going to show you what we need. Watch this. The greatest transfer of wealth in human history. Say yes to reclamation. Reclamation. 1, the act or process of reclaiming. 2, the state of being reclaimed. The Most High has made a covenant with a nation of people to establish his presence on earth. Go to the next slide. Reclamation. The international demand for return of our artifacts from around the world. 1, the Vatican secret archives. The Vatican, they know who you are. Go to the keys to the blood. You know what the Pope wrote? Pope John Paul, he said when we went into the land of Israel in 1969, we challenged the whole world. That's what he wrote about you so-called Negroes and so-called Hispanics and so-called Indians in the diaspora. 2, the Crown's archives in the British Museum. Reason why you're a slave because you under the Crown. The United States is a corporation under the Crown. United States of America and the United States is 2 different things. We're not talking about the damn rednecks down south. The whole concept of enslavement of man comes from the so-called Negroes and the so-called Indians would go back to India, which means slave. Was to enslave us to fulfill a prophecy. The Russian Museum. Come on, man. Please down the aisle, I always put out the Russian icons. Captain Tazaryan. Come on, man. We want all that. We want the Cairo Museum. A lot of them pharaohs that they put up there is really Israelites. Running around here talking about the Egyptian. Everybody that ruled in Egypt wasn't Cometian. That's a fact. Because if they was, I want them to display and I want them to explain why some of the mummies got red hair with pointy noses and things of that nature. I want them to explain that. Then you got 5, the Israel Museum. Then you got 6, the U.S. National Archives in the Library of Congress. 7, the Jewish Museum right here in New York City. You know who you are. If I can be rich today, if the Creator said, how could you be rich? And if you could, I'll let it happen. I say, let the Jew ask me who I am. You know how many Jews ask me, how do you know that you know who you are? Is your mother Jewish? Do they do Shabbat? Do you wear zigzags? You know, they want to know everything about what we do. Now, I'm stepping on some toes. I told Zion Lex. I told Sinetta. I told them all. Yeah, I support Zion Lex based on the fact that he's my brother. And that's that. But I don't support no Jewish faggot. Fuck Harry Rosenberg. And I'm going to tell you straight up with no chaser. That nigga's a fucking implant that's coming into our community. You want to know why? Because Israel is rising all over the 4 corners of the earth and they are afraid. And I may die, and if I die, y'all revenge me. Like a kung fu movie. Verse 7 or number 7, the Jewish Museum of New York, and 8, the Green Collection, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, largest private collection. Next, John. Come on. Somebody real quick read Genesis chapter 15, 18. Where my reader at? Is he reading? Is he drinking some Manny Shevis wine? You know how Jake do. So what I'm saying to y'all, we don't need them. We don't need them. We need each other. If the glove don't fit, just quit. You run around here talking about you the people, the book. See, you think we don't know how he tried to say that, you know, the northern kingdom of Israel is the black tribes and the southern kingdom is another ethnicity. Let me give y'all the secret. Y'all want to know the secret? Let me tell y'all the secret. If y'all read the scripture, you remember when Joseph went into the land of Egypt being sold by his brothers, and he married the Egyptian, woman going back to the priest of On. So when you read in the Talmud, they teach that by Joseph having children with her, one became Ephraim and Manasseh, correct? Now, matriarchally, they believe, which is a contradiction of the Torah, that you trace your lineage through your mother, right? So now, because they believe in that, that's where all the tribes that a so-called black come from. But the southern kingdom, right, didn't experience that. You got Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Now we know when we're dealing with sovereignty, Judah would be what you know as the national jurisdiction. Levi will be the ecclesiastical jurisdiction. Now, who controls the power? And then when you read in the Talmud, the northern kingdom just disappeared.
Right.
They just disappeared. So this boy is dealing with pure racism, and we don't even dig it. Man, I don't care who he affiliated with. I don't care about that. He don't have that. He got a beer distribution here in New York. Y'all do know that. Y'all do know that about this boy Rosenberg, huh? I mean, y'all need to know y'all enemy. If he's the enemy, you need to know everything about him. You got the verse, good brother? Come on, let's make it happen.
Genesis chapter 15, verse 18. In the same day, the Lord made a covenant with Abram, saying, unto thy seed have I given this land, from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates.
Hallelujah. Now, go to the next slide, because I'm about to show you. Now, notice, and then you have to read it. Notice it keeps speaking about the seed. We already established that the seed is a car, which also means to remember. So, when you look at this is going to be a time where people forget who they are and then they remember who they are once again. The so-called Jews always claim that they remembered who they were. Then it speaks about the land of the Nile River to the Euphrates. Okay? We've been under the impression that it's talking about Egypt to Iraq. But I'm going to show you that the Nile goes all the way down to Lake Victoria. So we talk about Somalia, Ethiopia. Y'all think it's a coincidence that the people of Eritrea and Ethiopia and Somalia is going back to the land of Israel as refugees? In reality, these are Hebrews returning back to the land. Come on. You're going to be reading from Ezekiel 37, 26 to 28.
Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them, a covenant of peace with them, and I will place them and multiply them, and will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forevermore. My tabernacle also shall be with them. Yea, I will be their God, and they shall be my people. And the heathen shall know that I, Yahweh, do sanctify Israel, when my sanctuary shall be in the midst of them forevermore.
Hallelujah. So we see, go to the next slide. So we see that an everlasting covenant is with the children of Yisrael. Now let's get to the meat of the subject matter. The United Nations of Israel's International Sovereignty Land Trust. We are initiating diplomatic discussions with any existing sovereign states that have held our land for the eventual transfer of aluminum into the International Sovereign Land Trust. This will put on record the official territory of the United Nations of Israel. This will start the international reclamation process for lands both inside and outside the promised lands to also be transferred into the United Nations of Israel's International Sovereign Land Trust. Next slide to show y'all. Now, here it is right here. We got right here the maps. Now remember, the scripture talk about the land will be from the Nile to the Euphrates. If you look, here's the Nile. So we talking about all the way down to Lake Victoria. So we talk about Tanzania as a part of the promised land. Kenya is a part of the promised land. The Congo, okay? Central African Republic, the Sudan, Eritrea, Egypt, Ethiopia, Somalia, all that is a part of the promised land. Iraq, Iran. See, they got us under the impression, okay, that that's not a part of the promised land. This right here is actually, guess what, y'all? Y'all ready to hear this? That's ancient Israel. That sounds crazy, don't it? Because y'all assume that Israel is what we know today as the modern state of Israel. That's just a portion of the land. Guess what? Ethiopia is Israel. Sudan is Israel. Somalia is Israel. We talk about the promised land. We talk about the promised land. All this belongs to us. All of it. And guess what? We're about to proclaim this. Go to the next slide. Come on. I'm going to read this. Don't worry about that. Genesis chapter 26, verse 3 to 4. Soldier in this land, and I will be with thee, and I will bless thee, for unto thee and to thy seed. So it keeps bringing up seed. So why everybody keep trying to integrate the other nations? I'm going to stop there for a second, and I'm going to explain the difference of proselytizing or converting versus having people come in as, when they speak about the soldiers, to actually become naturalized. Because we over here in the West, and we think religiously, we think people of a different nation, they can cling to us and convert. Well, that's not what the Torah is saying. When it talks about the law of the stranger and people that want to soldier with us, they have to go through the process of naturalization, just like any other nation or any other place you want to move to. Sister, if you go to Japan right now, can you just live there at will, or do you have to become a citizen? You have to become a citizen. Okay, brother, if you want to go to Tibet, can you just go there and just lay there, or you have to go through the process?
Go through the process.
Right. Anywhere you go on this planet, you have to go through a process. So what will be the difference with Israel? So now when we talk about the law of the stranger, we're not talking about anybody can just convert, and that's just it. They got to go through the process of naturalization. Right or wrong? I mean, we can accept or reject them at will, correct? So why they trying to act like, oh, anybody, because, they follow precepts of Torah, they with us. First of all, you can't even deal with us unless you recognize and realize who Yisrael is first. Then it goes to say, I will give all these countries. Here, I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath, the belief, which I swore into Abraham, the Abba, and I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and I will give thee the seed of all these countries, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. Now there's an argument when it speaks about all the nations shall be blessed. Well, I'm not one that acknowledges when it says all the nations will be blessed, that it's talking about all the regular Gentile nations, but it's actually talking about the Israelites that's going to be scattered amongst these nations, that's going to be blessed, taking on the characteristics and ideologies of these nations. We draw them out. Read to the next verse. Go to the next slide. Here we go right here. African countries, Arabian countries, the land of Cush or Kawash. Now, there was something that was said about the land of Ham or the land of Ham. When we talk about Kemet, I'm going to throw something at y'all. Y'all know that the word, which y'all know as Cam, the brother right here is a linguist. If I tell my child that's hot, I say Ham. That means heated, hot. But watch this. Because a lot of the Kemetic tribes lived in the equator area. What they did was they deified. When you say Aman, they deified Ham into a deity. So when they actually look at the so-called sun god, when they talk about Ra, they actually deify Ham into a deity. That's what they did. Because they always say, oh, y'all Hebrews use the word Iman. And Iman gives birth, or it comes from Aman. Y'all heard that before, correct? Y'all heard that, but watch this. It's so funny because they're so retarded. When you go into the scripture or any lexicon or concordance, the word is common. Common and Aman has the same root, not common. Because one, you have what is called the cat, correct? And then another one may have the heat, correct? And this is where they try to say, see, you see Abraham and all that. You understand what I'm saying? But when you look at come on, it means a sun disk. Come on. And this is where you get your obelisk. Okay, when you read in the scriptures. So Haman and Aman is two different things. But getting back to the point, these are all the areas that y'all see. Okay, Egypt, Ethiopia, Kenya, I'm just going through it. Sudan, United Arab Immigrants, Syria, Israel, Lebanon, Jordan, Kuwait. All these areas is from the Nile River to the Euphrates. All this is our ancient territory. See, they want us to just run to that piece of real estate. If a brother want to move to the Jordan, that's Israel. If a brother or sister want to move to Lebanon, that's Israel. Because Israel of today is not Israel of yesterday. See, that proves that the people that call themselves Jews today are not the true children of Yisrael. That's right. Because the true children of Yisrael understand that all this is a part of the promised land. That's right. Go to the next slide. Deuteronomy 8:18. But thou shalt remember Yahweh, the Elohim, or Yehovah, the Elohim. For it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth, and that he may establish his covenant, which he swore to thy father. Talk about Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. And for y'all ancient Hebrew speakers, Abraham, Yatzak, and Yaakov, as it is this day. So this is a covenant that was established between our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This don't have nothing to, when they went and took that land, they never mentioned, okay, about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The brother brought out the belt for a decoration. There's nothing there that's speaking about that this land was given based on what was established through the covenant with the creator Yahweh, and Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The whole concept of the belt for a decoration was strictly political. It had nothing to do with being prognosticated or prophetic. Go to the next, John. Come on. How was the United Nations of Israel set up? Hit it again. Now look, now we starting to get into some real shit. Hit it again. 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 And again. All right now. So now, at the United Nations of Yisrael, we have the world broken down into 13 regions in correlation to the 12 tribes, the 13 being Yaakov or Yaakov, Jacob. The U.S. is divided into 5 regions. I run the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania region, and then of the global 13. Then you got 30 U.S. districts. They have been identified. We got the flag, as we already established. We also got the logo, and then we got the seal and our plan. Guess what our plan is? Y'all want to hear what our plan is, family? The hemp. The hemp. The hemp. The marijuana. The marijuana. Y'all quiet. Come on, y'all quiet. Then we got the regional district and area representatives needed for all 13 regions. Then you got the official seal. Okay, hit the next one. Come on. As you can see, the regions is broken down. You got basically the East Coast, down south, Midwest, deeper Midwest, the West Coast. As you see, New York, Pennsylvania, Maine, all that. We got it broken down into 5 sections so we can identify where everybody is at in Yisrael. Don't matter what camp you in, we able to identify under the United Nations of Israel. Read. I'm saying read, I'm on y'all tip. Okay, now you got the UNY, 13 global regions. The US regions is 1 to 5. Canada region 6. Mexico region 7. Caribbean or Caribbean, Central and South America regions 8. Africa region 9. Middle East region 10. Europe region 11. Asia, China, Russia, India, and Japan region 12. And Australia and the Pacific Island regions 13. Now let me throw something to y'all that might shake it up a little bit. Now, you always hear about the Moorish-Israelite dispute. Moor only means so-called black. And when you actually deal with the term black, we really talking about the lack of consciousness. Now, I want y'all to hear this. Y'all hear something about the peace and friendship treaty, because a lot of people use that to define us as being free via Morocco. But let me break it down to you what really that is. The Peace and Friendship Treaty is a treaty that the people of Mauritania that was in line with the sultans that played a prevalent role in the transatlantic slave trade. They were slave catchers. So if they would have got caught in the transatlantic slave trade and they bring up the Peace and Friendship Treaty, they would return back to Morocco. That didn't have anything to do with us over here. It didn't have nothing to do with us, okay? Now, the treaty said we will be scattered in the four corners of the earth. As you see how we got this broken down, you can clearly see that we in line totally with the scripture. As of yet, I don't care if you're Torah-centered or Messianic, there is no dispute because we've been scattered in all these regions. I only got a couple of minutes left. Go to the next one. See, I need a whole presentation. 30K Israelites strong by 2017. Hit it. Come on. Hit it again. Come on. Keep hitting. We everywhere. As y'all can see. Keep hitting. Come on. Right. See, we identify. Come on. We identifying. Go to the next one. We identify Jeremiah 23:7-8. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that they shall no more say, Yahweh liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But Yahweh liveth, which brought thee up, and which lead thy seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, and from all countries whither thou hast driven thee, and they shall dwell in their own land. So the north country is North America. And when we say North America, we're not just talking about the United States. That's just a part of North America. But Canada, Alaska, all that, that's inclusive with the Gadites and the Seminole Indians, who is the Reubenites. And then it says, from all the countries which thou dwell. So all over the world. Go to the next slide. Come on. Now, civics, community development and commerce, and civic and government affairs. Y'all need to know about international law and geopolitics. You can't say that you're a nation of people and don't know what the hell is going on around you. They making executive decisions in the White House, in the United Nations, and we don't know what's going on. You understand what I'm saying? We need to know what's going on. We need to understand the difference from political status and dual nationality. The reason why that we keep going to prison because we're not identifying our proper status in subject matter jurisdiction. The Moors deal with subject matter jurisdiction, but the proper status they have a problem with. When we align ourselves as a nation, mix all congregationalism, this is another level. We're talking about identifying ourselves as a nation of people. When you identify as a nation, then your proper status is being Yisrael. Okay, your subject matter jurisdiction is the Torah, the law, statutes, and commandments. I don't care if you're Torah-centered or Messianic. We all agree on that. Identify key players on a local and global political, governmental, or communities who are or will be instrumental in supporting our efforts. So we do treaties at will, okay? The Most High said, never shake your hands with an angry man. So what I'm saying is, in ancient times, King David, Solomon, they all had political ties with nations around them. If Divine Prospect is a Moabite and they have certain minerals in their land, we have to do trade with them. See, the problem is we dealing with congregationalism. So once we start thinking as a nation, we can come outside the box, okay, and deal with this on a national and international level. Remember, Psalms chapter 83 says that there was a global conspiracy against us. So law brought us in captivity. Law's going to bring us out of captivity. Go to the next one. Y'all need the reality, next steps. Register in one of the 30 districts. Learn about your nationality. Go to the next one. I ain't got time. Identify resources in your community for local meetings. Organize United Nations of Israel community town halls and think tanks. Go to the next one. It keeps going. Come on, this is the end. Now, rise the ensign flag in front of every home, building, and business. This is the last verse, and I'm going to close it up. Good brother, I need a reader. Ephraim, could you read real quick the 60th chapter, verse 4 of Psalm? Come on. Because see, this is another level. This is how you know that we the people of the book. Because now we're thinking in terms of how to come from out of this. We're not talking about putting in your non-negotiable bill of exchange and your chargeback form, your EIN, which is your exemption identification number, which is your social without the dashes. You think we don't know that? Your UCC financial statement, man, fuck all that. We talking about dealing with the law, statutes, and commandments of the creator of heaven and earth. That's what's going to free us as a nation of people. Read. I want Psalms chapter 60, verse 4. I got to close out.
Psalms chapter 60, verse 1. Verse 4. Oh.
Psalms chapter 60, verse 4. You have given a banner to those who fear you, that it may be displayed because of the truth. Salah.
Here's your banner. Here's your flag. Come on. Each camp can have their own flag. It's like a confederacy. When you deal with the United States of America versus the United States, which y'all might think it's the same, but it's not. The United States of America is in fact the 13 colonies. The United States is Washington, D.C., okay? So now, when you read the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, it says all persons either born or naturalized. Persons in the Black Laws Dictionary is defined as juristic beings, property. You are property, you are fucking canned good. We got to get out of this mind state of congregationalism and come into naturalization. Even when the Northern Kingdom and the Southern Kingdom split, they still all knew that they was Yisrael. I told you, if you look carefully at the flag, this flag always existed in the tabernacle. Not as the banner as we see. This is a pronostication. But right here, we see the colors. When did the so-called Jew ever do that? You know why? They never did it like this because they're not the people in the book. They never recognized and realized until 125th down West Street said, yo, we're going to identify the tribes. I respect all camps. They was able to line up all the tribes. Look at the 12 stones. Look at the menorah. Look at the light being the enlightenment of Yah. Look at the name of the creator. Look at the red, white, blue, purple, and gold being the mineral around us. We a fucking nation. We not no damn converts. Y'all need to recognize and realize that we a nation of people. We are identified. Look, family, we got the land. We got the nationality. We got the mind, soul, body. We 5/5 of a human being. We have to operate as a nation. We got a language. Look at Moray. He came up here speaking the language as his own. You want to know why? Because it is his own. Go ahead to the next one. A couple more. We done. Come on, man. Gather in Jamestown, Virginia. Look, this is a favorite. My brother Captain Tazariak loves saying this verse. Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1-2. Gather yourselves together. Ye gather together, O nation not desired. Man, you got brothers here from the kingdom of Yah. You got brothers in here from Shema. You got brothers here from Hashama. You got brothers here from, Lions in Israel. You got brothers in here from AOC. Our ancestors before us would never have imagined this. Look how far we have came. You got brother here from Atlanta, Georgia, my brother Divine Prospect. We got some work to do, man. We got to bring this minority report into effect, part 2. I'm trying to be a part of that, man. Okay? Before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the cleft, before the fierce anger of Yahweh come upon you, before the day of Yahweh's anger come upon you. Come on, it's closing out. Come on. Hit it. Now, we got to work together, family. This is it. Listen, family. I give all praise and honor to Yahweh, the eternal creator of our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I had so many portions. Like I need to do something solo because this right here, we not talking about, you know, I need $100 and something. I need $700. You born sovereign. Why would you have to pay for that? You don't have to pay for that.
That's right.
You know, people that's out there scamming people, you know what I mean, for their money, and people selling their cars and all kinds of ill shit. You understand what I'm saying? This is free. This is free. We all sovereign here. I love all y'all. The mighty Hebrew is here. We all mighty Hebrews.